Alright, this is a BMW 330 Ci 2002 without the dash installed. I've taken the dash off. Initially I was trying to get to the evaporator just to check it out because I could smell the Freon and I'm not holding a charge. But I took this bar off, the entire cross member here, which I didn't necessarily need to do. To get in here, your evaporator actually lays flat right here on the bottom of this box. And to get into this box, you just take this cover off. And to do that, there are 4 clips. There's one right here, one here, here, and then there's one down here. And all you do, they've got a lip on this side. You just hit these with a screwdriver until they come off. And just be careful because they like to fly off. And then you just pull this whole thing back down like this, and there's a couple of little tabs that slide into little holders on these 2 sides, and you can take the whole thing off and get to what you need to get to. But if you need to take this metal bar off for anything, I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. All of the bolts involved are 13mm. There's one over here. There it is. Right there, that gold bolt right there needs to come off. And then we have 2 black bolts on either side of the center console. They're kind of hidden by the fabric a little bit. There's one here. There's one here on this side. Alright, and then we have 2 on this side as well. There's a gold one here and a gold one down here. And you have to take off the airbag to get that done. To remove the airbag, you want to make sure that your battery is disconnected, at least the negative side. Just to be safe, you can do the positive and negative side. And make sure that the terminals can't get loose and make contact again. You want to hold them down somewhere so they don't make contact with the battery. And you don't want to turn on your car or reconnect the power until the airbags are reconnected, or else you'll get a hard fault and you have to have a special tool to reset it. So make sure your airbags are all connected and installed before you apply power back to your car. Also, obviously be careful because, you know, they're dangerous. To get the airbag off, all you have to do is, actually I didn't even disconnect these. All you had to do is, there's a bolt on the side here. All you have to do is loosen that, and then it'll come off like this, and there's 2 forks that go into the metal like this, so it'll just come off and come up like that, and just set it out of the way. Make sure you don't pinch it in the door, and that'll give you access to this bolt and this one down here. This bolt down here is a special case. I couldn't figure out how to take it off, so what I ended up doing was I went ahead and drilled it out because there's no way to get to the back side of that. I used a 9/64 inch drill bit to start to make a pilot hole, and I just drilled through the center, not even an inch, you know, just barely, you know, less than an inch, and then I finished it with a 13/64 inch, and I just drilled in until I heard it start to crack, and then eventually it popped. But when you do that, you want to make sure you find the sweet spot speed, like the optimal speed, so that's not going too fast or too slow. When you're drilling, you should notice metal coming out like in a spiral. That means it's actually cutting and it's actually doing its job. It's not just spinning and heating up. So just be careful with that. Also, there's a bolt right here that goes all the way through this sleeve, and this is the end of it right here. So it's a long bolt, and then this just slides out when you get it loose. And other than those, you just have the 4 bolts that connect to the steering column, and there's going to be one here and one here. Go this other way. Yeah, one here and one here. They're both 13mm. All these are 13mm. And then there's 2 more that are about a foot, almost a foot, you know, down the steering column in the same kind of location like this. It goes down like that about a foot, and you'll see them. They look exactly like this bolt right here. And this one was a special case also. You have to get a pair of vice grips, and it looks like this on this side. This is actually a bolt that I replaced it with. You have to get a pair of vice grips because the bottom here is actually rounded off on the factory bolt for whatever reason. I guess it's because you can't use a socket right here. I just had to like use the vice grips and kind of back it up myself until I could get under here with my thumbs and get it out. But I just went to Ace Hardware and got a new bolt right here. Same screw threadings and bolt head size. This one right here, I had to use an open end wrench and just kind of, you know, tighten it right here after I finger tightened it when I put it back. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just make sure you wear gloves because this metal is pretty sharp in some places. You don't want to cut yourself. It just makes it easier. Yeah, I think that's all the bolts. Alright, just one other thing I thought of. When you are doing this, when you're taking the bolts out for the steering column, you're going to want to support the bottom of the steering wheel because it's going to be real flimsy. I just used this bolt, this box down here. I put it on top of the seat so the steering wheel could rest on it. Also, I used that box when I was drilling out this hole right here to pop this bolt. There's a lot of metal shavings, and if you put like a little box or something like that underneath it, it'll catch all the shavings. It'll save you some hassle. Yeah, that's about it. Hope this helps.